beer, it's good for you.
Hello and welcome to the video. When Lallemands informed me that they would be releasing a new IPA yeast, I have to say I was super excited, as they certainly knocked the ball out of the park with Verdant IPA yeast. So a new IPA strain to complement this one in the market must be something very special. Within this video I'll be sharing key information about Pomona, the new hybrid IPA yeast from Lallemands, which it has to be said is totally perfect for both hazy and New England IPA beers, but also flexible enough for a range of IPA styles too. So let's get to it. Every new commercial yeast needs a mission, and Pomona yeast was created with one simple mission: to create the yeast the market needs for modern hop-forward beers. Pomona is a Lallemands yeast that has been developed in partnership with Escarpment Labs. The process behind creating this new yeast combined yeast hybridization and adaptive lab evolution. Between these two processes, a cross-strain was created that is highly aromatic, as well as being able to enhance biotransformation and haze. As you would expect, this strain was also created to be highly robust and reliable, in keeping with professional grade yeast. Two different strains were mated together to create a super strain. This involved the Sterling and Cerberus yeast strains, which both brought highly desirable qualities that included enhanced fermentation efficiency along with excellent aroma formation. You will note that Cerberus is also diastatic, but this trait was removed by the process. The adaptive lab evolution was managed within a New England IPA wort to improve fermentation kinetics and haze stability. This was also beneficial with hybrids to enhance genetic stability and repitching consistency. So yes, this yeast can be recultured at home and then repitched. As you can see, this process involved the isolation of up to 20 variants each time, and from this the best versions were selected and were gradually narrowed down. The process pushed the yeast into higher gravity worts, which also worked to further improve alcohol tolerance and fermentation speed. At this point, a distinct peach and stone fruit aroma was noted. As you can see by Pomona's description here, it is named after the goddess of fruit trees and produces a unique juicy flavour that includes notes of peach, citrus and tropical fruit. All of this certainly gets a big thumbs up from me. Here is a look at Pomona's technical information. Despite one of the parent strains being STA1 positive, Pomona is not diastatic, as you can see. It benefits from a nice fast average fermentation time of just 4 to 5 days and has an attenuation range between 75 to 84%, which will be governed by your choice of recipe and brewing and fermentation temperature, of course. Pomona has an optimum temperature range of between 18 to 22 degrees Celsius, which is the equivalent of 64.4 to 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit. As you can see, this yeast has an alcohol tolerance of up to 10% ABV, which is certainly enough. Pomona was trialled 23 times before release, and shown on screen is the average data from these trials. You can see core data here like the average pitch rate, fermentation temperature and mash temperature, and based on this the average fermentation time was just 5 days, with a total time of 9 days with a dry hop. Pomona averaged at 77% attenuation and had very good biotransformation and high average haze. Here is some extra data on fermentation performance. In summary, you can see that we have a very short lag time and maturation time that matches the short fermentation time too. Pomona will certainly suit brewers that enjoy a fast turnaround. Here is a graph showing the trials in relation to attenuation level. As you can see, 76% or less was the most frequent, followed by 80%, then 77%, and then finally 79%. So from this data we can averagely expect 76% attenuation or less from Pomona, resulting in a not so dry average end result. Though do keep in mind that mash temperature and fermentation temperature also play a key role in deciding this. When it came to aroma, this was made up by peach and tropical fruit as well as citrus, apricot and stone fruits. The tropical notes found here were most popular, with responses on guava, mango and pineapple. If we now compare this aroma information with Verdant IPA and New England yeast, then you can see that Pomona has the strongest tropical aroma presence of the three, which I believe will make Pomona a very popular yeast for sure. Another very assuring thing that came from the trial surveys is that this yeast has low to no off flavours present, as you can see here. When it came to biotransformation level, the majority of the data from the surveys came back as being from somewhat high to high, which is certainly very positive too. Here are the results from the haze responses for this one, and this earned a very high and respectable average rating of 4.27 out of 5. Here is some further advice on hop pairing, which suggests that good choices would be hops that have stone fruit qualities as well as hops that push citrus fruit. Pomona has been successfully used after kettle souring too, along with peach and apricot fruit additions. Now that does sound good. Here are some FAQs that could well answer any questions that you still have in regards to Pomona yeast. Pomona can be used for other styles outside of the IPA realm of success, including pale ales, kettle sours and brown ale, which have all been tried so far. Fermentation temperatures at or above 25 degrees Celsius or the equivalent of 77 degrees Fahrenheit are not recommended. This is due to the fact that less positive results have been experienced at these higher temperatures, so it really is best to stick within the optimal temperature range of 18 to 22 degrees Celsius, which is the equivalent of 64.4 to 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit. As we already know, repitching is no problem at all, and the pitch rate has a lower effect on aroma compared to hop selection, which is good information to know. Furthermore, Pomona reportedly has good acid tolerance and has better flavour stability at lower pH levels. Then lastly, Pomona is apparently easy to filter or clarify should you ever wish to. Let's now go through the key features offered by Pomona. The first is that it is highly biotransformative. Recent research has uncovered that different yeast strains can have an influence on both flavour and aroma through interaction with specific hop-derived flavour compounds, which is known as biotransformation. This can impact certain aspects like the citrus flavour level as well as the overall hop intensity. It has been found that there's lots of potential for interaction between Pomona yeast and hops, which can result in some very unique results that push aroma and flavour results from your hops even further. Pomona yeast is also great for hazy styles because it is haze positive and has very good haze stability. However, it is also responsive to filtering or clarifying via fining agents should you wish to. Beer clarity can certainly be dictated by style if you're entering your beers into competition, but other than this I firmly believe that it should be all about personal choice, as after all it is your beer. Personally, I enjoy a natural look for the most part for many styles and proudly show this within my recipe videos that always show the finished beer at the end. Furthermore, Pomona offers fast fermentation even within a high gravity wort that has a high hop environment. I believe that this will also have a very positive impact on this yeast's success, and I see that many brewers enjoy hoppy styles fresh, meaning that with Pomona it is possible that you can turn an IPA around fresh for drinking within a week from brew day if you force carbonate in a keg. This I feel will suit many of us. It is also great news that Pomona is robust and is highly suitable for repitching, including high gravity and highly hopped wort. Economy these days is for many a higher consideration than usual, so this is a great feature for sure. Pomona is also a very versatile yeast as it can be used with a large variety of IPA styles with very good end results, as well as for other beer styles including sours. Naturally, at this point not every style has been tried, and it will be interesting to see the potential of Pomona within other styles. Its juicy peach, citrus and tropical fruit are sure to pair well across many different styles as I see it. I will finish up here by thanking Lallemands for giving me early access to this fantastic new IPA yeast. Lallemands have also been kind enough to share with me a recipe that works especially well with Pomona that I will be sharing with you all in the very near future. I do hope that you found this video useful, informative and interesting. If so, why not consider liking and subscribing? For further support you can join the channel's Facebook group, and if you would like to support the channel then check out the channel's merchandise store, as all profits go back into the channel. Until next time, happy brewing!